So there's a lot of haters coming out of the woodwork, man. A lot of haters coming out of woodwork. There's a few people that have, it's actually quite funny. They've put together YouTube content, which they've tried to make it look like, you know, I was talking about something else and putting words in my mouth and all this other stuff. I think they're jealous of the fact that, you know, within 4 weeks, I've done what these guys have taken, you know, 5 years to do, right? And I think they're just pissed off and I'm jealous.
Have you ever heard of the saying, slow and steady wins the race? No, you haven't. I'm meant to have a slow incremental increase in followers, thank you very much. You don't know me. Fuck you, I'm not jealous, you're jealous. Yeah, what's going on, Patriots? I apologise for my recent lack of updates about the anti-lockdown movement. I have been moving house, and that just meant I didn't have the time to do it the justice that I guess it deserves. I can't do all this in one video, otherwise the video would go for a million years. But I am going to update you on a few different major happenings within the anti-lockdown movement. It's sort of related conspiracy theory threads going on under the big tent of the anti-lockdown movement. I assume Phanos was talking about me there. I mean, myself, Cam Smith, a couple of other people have been the only people really doing solid updates on the anti-lockdown lot. Slack bastard. I've got to hold on to my sense of childlike wonder about these guys. I did go a little hard on them in the last video. I do have my points of cynicism about them, and I do see that some of them are getting red-pilled a little too quickly for my liking. I went a little hard in previous videos. I may do it again, may lose my cool, but I just, you know, I do want to reiterate, I do have a soft spot for these people in a way. When you can find some dyed-in-the-wool nationalists walking among the lot, but they are not representative of the movement. In fact, not much is representative of this big tent conspiracy anti-lockdown movement yet. There's a lot going on in there, and we would be fools to simply go, oh, they're all nationalists. Because the last time we saw bad rallies happen, they were racists from Reclaim Australia, and then to be done with them. You know what I mean? If you want them to become that, you can just fucking call them that and then ignore them until it becomes even more of a problem. But I'm not really interested in doing that. I'd rather know what I'm fucking talking about. Anyway, what's happening in coronavirus news? Well, of course, you know, in Victoria, one thing, we had the cedar meats outbreak. It's fascinating to learn where that really came from. Here's the red pill for you.
Come down to Cedar Meats to check this new 5G tower. That bad boy over there. And Cedar Meats is just past those trees.
Holy fucking shit, dude. Holy fucking shit. So obviously the Cedar Meats comes from the 5Gs. You know, so the wavelengths of the 5Gs gets in the meats. Gets in the meat packers as well. Obviously the 5Gs are now starting to infect more people, and that's why we've got that. Now, there are a series, there's actually too many, and they're kind of too boring to all cover at once. There's a series of little anti-lockdown protests that have occurred, and I lump in spontaneously occurring, you know, or conveniently timed anti-vax protests under that same big tent. So yeah, so this is a little footage from reasonably sized, I think they had 50 or so people, anti-vax rally that occurred in Adelaide. Yeah, here's a dude with a harmonica playing Waltzing Matilda. Always the most curious mix of vibes here. I wish I could tell you what flavour or what vibe it is at these protests all up, but there's just the weirdest mix of people, you know. It really, really is, like Botox yoga mums hanging out with sort of patriot types, smashing the harmonica. It's a very hard to pin down vibe, you know. Here's one amazing placard. The immune system, 3.5 billion years of intelligence doesn't need your help. And that's why you end up having something of a soft spot for them, because, you know, it's not, this isn't threatening. And also, this isn't someone who's full of hatred towards his fellow working class, which is personally, again, for me, it's a step up from the Nazi sorts, you know. They might be very arrogant towards their fellow man, like they may be the people who walk along and will tell a nurse that they're part of it, that they've been lied to, or that they're in on it, or what have you. But, you know, they're just, you know, I got a soft spot for them, I got to say. Lots of people looking at 5G towers, like this gentleman here.
You might be able to get some,
you know, coming out, he's looking at
you might be able to see
5G mega
whether
tower
it's
here.
Huawei, Nokia, Ericsson.
Yeah.
I can't see anything. Oh my God, this is maxed out here.
Oh, he's got the 5G. He's looking at, he's got his 5G thermometer out.
6.0. It's up to 10,000
Ow! It's up.
microwatts per meter square too.
Ah.
This is a health hazard for anyone parking up here.
Oh,
look at that.
Stop.
Unbelievable.
So there's this really important bit from the Adelaide rally. Important, not important in the grand scheme of things, important to me. Take a listen.
Crime against us, breaking the Constitution. Yeah. Medical freedom.
Except they took the Constitution from us.
Medical freedom.
We don't even have it anymore.
No, it's there. It's hidden. All right.
Yeah.
Freedom.
So what is this? What is this weird hidden constitutions thing that they're talking about? It's been hidden from us. Where is it? Is it like the Holy Grail? We need to reflect on this constitution thing, because it comes up again and again, and I want to talk about really where it comes from. Now, let's go back in time to something I've already touched on, which is Renee Altacrity, the Botox conspiracy mum, who was arrested for walking along with her little child and a Magna Carta poster outside Sydney's Parliament House.
My son's with me. I am not under arrest for anything. Why is she under arrest?
I'm not under arrest. She tells the police officer, I'm not under arrest. And yeah, and you'll see this thread throughout this video. I admire the staunchness towards the coppers of these people, and that certainly isn't something that I'm shitting on. However, it is an interesting line, and I think it's quite telling of these people. Why is it that Renee was so confident to be able to tell this police officer, no, I'm not under arrest? Here's one video, and this is from Victor Tay's live stream, walking up and down the street going, just exercising, and listen to what Renee says.
Hey, how you doing? Are you streaming as well?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Great.
the funny thing is, the minute the police approached and the minute I mentioned know your rights, you know, as far as our constitution, you're a public servant, you should be serving for the public. The police pretty much started turning around. He was like, what? Yeah, but I'm acting under the... I said, but no, what authority does the Act have and where's your proof? I'm sorry, but I don't remember the Governor-General passing the laws on this lockdown.
Right.
So anyway, it's really powerful stuff. I'd suggest everyone to get on knowyourrights.com.au. And Wayne Blue, you're doing an amazing job.
That's Mike Palmer, right? I think it's
yeah.
knowyourrightsgroup.com.au,
Yeah,
right? Knowyourrightsgroup.com.au.
Wayne Glue is doing some really powerful stuff with the Constitution. They both do, but I got some really good, powerful stuff that makes you just feel confident with the fact that we're not doing the wrong thing.
Okay, so Renee is clearly armed with the knowledge that she's going to be okay because of someone called Wayne Glue. Here's another video with Renee. Same morning, just a few minutes beforehand, she repeats something.
Was approached by a group of police, and minute you start mentioning constitutional rights, and their job is to act as a servant for the public. And I even said to the police officer, please take one of my signs, you should be marching with us. And he hightailed it and walked away. Wayne Glue, amazing. Got some really good informational, power off you with the last couple of videos that you've done.
Well, again, I'm not happy that Renee got arrested, and I'm not happy that her child was subjected to what her child was subjected to. I can't stand the New South Wales police. So this is not a video saying, ha ha ha, I'm happy she got arrested. I'm just trying to understand why. And you'll see there that she mentioned Wayne Glue twice. Now, Wayne Glue is a sovereign citizen or a free man. And all of these mentions of the Constitution are down to people like the Know Your Rights group, but particularly I think Wayne Glue seems to be having a profound effect on a lot of these people in terms of revising their understanding of how they have to interact with the law on a day-to-day basis. Let's have a listen to the person that has given Renee such this delusional confidence. Wayne Glue. Take it away, Wayne.
I've just watched a video of the story put out by Channel 9 in relation to a young lady that was unlawfully and without lawful excuse manhandled by the police in New South Wales. And the Premier, who is nothing but a liar and a traitor, and the Police Commissioner, you, sir, are a liar and a traitor as well, are exercising authority which you do not have. You cannot put out social distancing. That is a fraud. That is a lie. You can recommend we stay that distance. You cannot enforce it. Fined $1,000, you liar. She was summoned at a later date to appear before a court. You had no right to ask her name. She wasn't committing any offence. You were. You, the police, are not sworn officers of the Crown. No Crown, no authority. That is our law. The people are sovereign and supreme. Page 676 of our Constitution, the last paragraph says the Parliament is not supreme, and the very essence of federation is that that must be so.
Wayne's got hours of fucking gear like this. All of law is based on a misinterpretation of the Constitution, and indeed a reliance upon an inaccurate copy of the Constitution. He actually, I think he sells, or someone else around him sells copies of what they deem the real Constitution. So they think that no laws are valid, or that most laws are not valid because they're enacted by a parliament that introduces acts of legislation that aren't valid because they don't count. All that counts is the constitutions.
You have no authority to make laws, propose laws. Go read page 701 of our Constitution. It lists your position. Nothing. No mention of the Prime Minister. You are the foreman of the Parliament. Premier, you're the foreman of your state Parliament. Every single person, before they exercise authority in this country, must swear the oath contained in our Constitution. You haven't, Premier, so you're a traitor.
They're very, very into, these sovereign citizens or freemen are very into, in 1912, the Governor-General gave royal assent, or gave royal assent, but did so in red pen. In 1984, the state premier forgot to put their hand on their heart when reciting an oath, so therefore nothing passed after that day is valid, So
she breached your quarantine law. It's not a law. It isn't a law. You can't make a law. I just read it to you. That is even in your own green mucus book. It isn't a Commonwealth Constitution Act 1900 UK.
Fake versus real Constitution.
It is in our Constitution 1901. You cannot make a law in relation to quarantine, which means no social distancing, no locked up in your houses. That's all lies, all fraud, all treason. Get it?
I already told you, you can't make a law. This isn't right. These are the wrong laws. They're not legal. If you want to go by the right laws, go by the right Constitution. Do you understand?
Are you sovereign? No, you're not. Page 791, the middle of the last paragraph states, neither the federal nor the state government are sovereign bodies. They're simply legislatures with limited authority. If they attempt to pass a law in excess of that authority, the law is annulled and affords no obedience. You passed a law in relation to quarantine. You had no authority. She can disobey it.
Who is this fucking bloke? Wayne Clue had his property seized because he refused to pay $300,000 owing in rates. You see, Wayne didn't believe that he had to pay any of them because he's a sovereign citizen, and all of these laws under which he used to pay, laws and regulations under which he used to pay pay rates, aren't based on the Constitution. Mr. Glue, a former police officer, has appealed a court order from the council to remove his possessions from the property. In 2014, he was declared a vexatious litigant, which is a pretty rarefied category, actually. You've got to be pretty fucking annoying to be declared that by a Supreme Court. With his position being described as nonsensical and incoherent. Mr. Glue said the city could not seize his land because he claimed it under Magna Carta. Magna Carta was originally issued by King John of England in 1215 as a solution to a political crisis. It has been the foundation of constitutional and parliamentary government for Britain and Commonwealth countries. However, it's also been outdated somewhat by, almost 1,000, going on 1,000 years now of legislative acts, other constitutions, and so on and so forth. This is the thing about Wayne Glue. There's an entrenched entitlement in what he does. He doesn't believe that the laws really apply to him, but they went on and took his house anyway. But here he is still railing over the fact that the laws don't apply to him. So he kind of lives in an unreality, but he speaks to the degree of confidence that's usually found in, conspiracy theorists and sovereign citizens, simply because their reality doesn't fit with the narrative given to them by the rest of the world. They don't believe in communal responsibility. They believe in their own freedoms. And this is this clash of these freedoms. This is freedoms of everyone to interact with each other safely and what have you, versus Wayne Glue's freedom to do whatever the fuck he likes and fuck you, So that's the sovereign citizen scenario.
But this thing is maxed out. This thing is putting out, it's highly toxic in terms of non-thermal. We don't know if it's above 6.0. This thing could be 12.
You think I'm ranting? No, I'm not. I'm very, very clear-minded. And I'll tell you now, no crown, no authority. The piece of thing on your badge, which is in the shape of a crown, is not the crown I'm talking about. Oath of allegiance contained in our Constitution, or no authority. Get it? Till then, you're traitors. Even Scott Morrison. There's no Queen of Australia. She's the monarch. They don't lie and try and pretend your way out of it. You didn't swear the lawful oath. You are not who you say you are.
You put your hands in your pockets instead of holding the Bible in 2004 when you did your maiden speech. So therefore you are not loyal to the Queen. Therefore the Queen can send her knights to behead you for heresy and for being a traitor.
You don't understand just how many people in this country are ready to stand up, and when you leave work to go on your home, get rid of you, dispose of you. I've been telling them for years not to do it. I don't agree with it, but I would not stand in their way. I don't want to get killed because of you idiots.
The breathtaking cheek of these cunts. And I'm not someone sitting there going, hey, you leave my cops alone. You leave my politicians alone. Certainly not. So I kind of enjoy it. However, the thing for me about these sovereign citizens is that a lot of them tend to, and people like Wayne Glue, they tend to ignore a vastly superior claim to their confected, you didn't fucking have your fucking, you didn't sign the Magna Carta in blue pen in 1684, therefore Australia doesn't exist. There's a vastly superior claim to any of this.
Finally, in 1992, the High Court of Australia overturned the legal doctrine of terra nullius and recognised that native title did exist, based on Indigenous Australians' connection or occupation of land under traditional laws and customs.
The native title rights and the Mabo ruling was validated by the highest courts in Australia. And then, you know, John Howard still came in as a successive Prime Minister and did his best to undo all of that. That is the best claim to sovereignty, the realist claim, as in the claim of saying, we were here first, we were here for tens of thousands of years, as the many, you know, Aboriginal peoples of Australia were. This is all vastly more logical, and it was actually been voted in by courts. Now, these people either ignore it, or here's another telling one. Here's a Mullumbimby 5G hippie take on sovereign citizen stuff. General claims that sovereignty was taken the second Arthur Phillip stuck that rag on the stick into our lands. That claim is laughable at best and criminal at least. It matters not which Crown statute Telstra cites as the authority to make its claim to a right to do the concerned works, as none of the Crown statutes were or are applicable over nor in respect of the tribes, their estates, nor themselves. Anyone who uses the word tribes is a fucking race-shifting racist dog. You can, I'm just take that as a fait accompli. That's true. No one uses that shit. No one talks about tribes. We're not fucking anthropologists from 1940 here, you know. These people are trying to kind of muscle in on Aboriginal identity without outright saying, we are black now, on some Rachel Dolezal shit. This is an attempt to try and sort of muscle into to genuine Aboriginal sovereign rhetoric here in order to get Telstra to stop building 5G towers. So the cheek of these people really knows no bounds. Now, this would all be something we could just laugh at and go, oh, you know, you bloody gooses. But here's the thing. I want to show you a couple of arrests of sovereign citizens or infringement notices issued to them after the protest.
So I'm here in regards to the protest you attended on the 10th of May.
Yeah.
Do you have any ID on you?
Why are you asking me?
Would you just like to verify your details?
You don't need to verify my details.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. I don't even know what you're here for.
Okay, so I was giving you a quick caution. So, okay, so my name is Sam Fletcher. You don't have
Who
to
are
say...
you?
Show you some order.
And where are you from?
Melbourne West Police Station.
Okay.
So listen, you don't have to say or do anything, but anything you say or do may be using evidence. Do you understand that?
Okay, in that case, I'll say nothing. Thank you.
That's fine, but can you please state your full name and your address?
I don't need to.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
It's actually an offence.
It's an offence.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I'm not driving a car. I'm at home. You come my you're very close
Christina,
to coming right onto my property.
In regards to the offence of breaching COVID laws, therefore it is.
I haven't breached any COVID laws.
We're here in regards to the protest you attended.
Just change your terminology. Breaching COVID directions. Okay, there's a difference between directions and laws.
Okay, we're here in regards to you breaching COVID directions.
Here's another sovereign citizen anti-lockdown protest infringement notice. Shout out to Cam Smith for both of these.
You're a foreign military. You serve a foreign crown on my soil. No. It's on camera.
That's good.
I know what I'm fucking talking about. Oh, sorry.
Good.
I don't mean to swear, but I know what I'm talking about here. You serve a foreign crown. Yeah. It's the St. Edward's crown. It's Catholic. You serve the Pope. Rome. We are not you.
That's good.
Okay? As long as you understand that. Under the Geneva Convention, we have protections. I suggest you go and learn those, because following orders does not protect you from committing war crimes. The Nuremberg trial will tell you that.
The Nuremberg excuse doesn't work.
This is our church meeting, right? Under the Geneva Convention, and there's also human rights that don't really apply to us, but even if we were human, which we're not.
Whoa. Are you saying you're not human?
No, we're mankind.
We're mankind. We're not.
Do you identify as a human being?
No.
Well, okay. A human.
Do you know what a human means?
Hang on, one at a time.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a warning. If you don't leave this area now, you will all be issued with fines.
I mean, you know, again, like, fuck the cops, but also fuck this level of delusional entitlement and the fucking, you know, and this sort of, like, aggressive reinterpreting of the entire world around you, because the world doesn't move for your reinterpretation of it, you know. I mean, if you, someone that says, well, you know, can you not go out to potentially spread this virus around, then these people, oh, you're never going to have any luck with people like this. You know, in these people's worldview, you're wrong about everything. They're right about everything. And I would say to them, like, I'm happy that they're angry at the coppers. Like I said before, happy that you're punching up, not punching down. But, yeah, are you mad about Aboriginal deaths in custody? Or are you just mad that you copped a fine and a little bit of lip from a copper once? Are you mad about how they were to you at your anti-lockdown protest? Or are you also mad now about how the treatment of protesters at IMARC, you know, the mining convention last year, where they were worse than they ever fucking were at any anti-lockdown protest? Are you mad about the unfair policing of lower socio-economic areas, you know, during COVID? Like we see here in this Saturday paper article. Look up Osman Faruqi's Saturday paper article on unfair discriminatory policing. You can see that in the lower socio-economic areas, people receive far more fines because the coppers were doing the same kind of shit that coppers always do, which is target broken brown people. Or are you just mad that you personally can't scream hoax into the face of fucking, you know, healthcare workers? Medical freedom! They're fucking suburban bravehearts, mate. That's it. Suburban fucking Robert the Bruces. This is their way to enact all their internalised fucking brave soldier DVD Saving Private Ryan tropes to cope with the fucking stress of the pandemic. You know, while wasting copper resources and, you know, possibly passing around a chest bug that they can't be bothered looking into. I'll tell you what, here's Renee Altacrity. Look.
And engage lawyers to threaten media to keep their distance. One journalist accidentally run over and is now in hospital with an injured foot.
So that's what I did. She got lawyers to fucking contact all the media outlets to say, no, stop it, you can't talk to me, you know? And in her haste to get away, she ran a reporter over by the foot.
Now, I feel sorry for that poor reporter that tripped in front of the car and got a foot run over. Serves you right, you shouldn't have been there. What happened to your social distancing from the car? That had a virus. It's called a wheel that run over your foot, you dumb clown. Wake up.
You shouldn't have been there. It's your fault. When it comes time to talk about their responsibility to other people in any sense, or even in a moral and ethical sense, like let alone like legal, they're fucking never there. They do not want to do it. They'll sit there going, you got your foot run over, it's your fault. However, when apparently you owe it to them for them to go out and get a fucking haircut, or them to be able to go out and sit down the pub and suck down a schooner, then, you know, or them to be able to go to the cricket, then it's, you know, everyone's got to bend over backwards for them. The Constitution is the secret red one, not the green one. The fucking Governor General wore a wig backwards in 1784, so technically Australia is actually England. They're unbelievable. They're complete and utter larpers. You know what these guys are? It's fucking Boomer Da Vinci Code. Fucking Dan Brown novel for bored, suburban, scared, panicked, lonely people. They're like, they've never learned critical thinking, this and that. They've never fucking, you know, sat down to understand the pandemic, the medical nature of the crisis. So it's all going to be like secret codes, you know? Oh, what? There's a secret green constitutions. There's a secret red one. Pick the secret constitution. Find it. The Queen's trying to hide it from you. Go to page 784 of the Constitution. It says the Queen is not real. Therefore, I don't have to pay my taxes. And I don't have to wear a mask. Nothing you ever do is as important as them unlocking the code of the secret fucking coronavirus
I think this thing is 8, 9.
thank you so much. We'll be back soon, I reckon, in about a week or so, with more of recent and ongoing anti-lockdown drama. If you enjoy my videos about the anti-lockdown movement, then please support me on Patreon.